We are back, episode 139 of Journey to a Million here on this Wednesday night. Full squad's here. Zack Rausch, Valleskey, myself, Drew Skyberg. Week 1 of fantasy has come and gone, and the NFL season. I can't forget that part. Not great for the Packers. I mean, Colts got the L, but we got some good fantasy outputs, I'd say. And now it's rivalry week 2. In fantasy, Zack and I play each other. In real life, we have Packers, Colts. So it doesn't get better than that. Zack Rausch, Jared Valleskey, how you guys doing?
Good. Is it actually going to happen that Love plays? I'd be happy if he played.
No.
And we actually get a
this week.
Nope. He's
they
out.
said he's not out. They said he's
not ruled out yet, but
yeah.
It's like
that'd be cool to see.
He plays.
The ticket prices already went down like $100 each. So
yeah, it's.
I don't know.
I got the stats on the ticket prices. I had that ready. If you guys want to hear them, it was $298 was like a get in price I saw. Like that includes fees. Keep in mind. This morning it was
$150.
Down to yep. It was down to $150. It was down actually half. So a lot of ticket prices were cut them in half, sliced it in half.
Yeah.
What did you say, Zach?
I looked. What?
For the Colts game?
Yeah.
Correct. Well,
I looked like a week ago, and it was getting in, buying 4 tickets at the cheapest price with fees costed $1,400. And that's what, like 300 whatever it is dollars a ticket, 350 plus. And now it's like after fees like 150 each, so it'd be like $700.
It went down again.
Did it?
130. You can sit in the 100 level for $128.
Yeah, I'm still not going to be there, sadly, but
I mean, a Packer home game in nice-ish weather, in fall weather.
If it was week like 7, 8, I'd go. But like it's just week 2. It's way too. I mean, it's just too expensive to watch a game that's.
They all count the same unless
they
we're talking preseason.
Yes, but we don't even know what these teams are going to be yet. I mean, they're both 0-1. They both had promising games. I see power rankings of the Colts at 23 and the Texans at like 4. I mean, like we can admit AR outdueled Stroud. He did. Stroud threw 2 picks that were called back because of penalties.
No. Right.
How wasn't he not? How was he not? Did you watch the game?
Richardson
Before you say anything, did you watch the game?
Flash plays that were phenomenal. But other than that,
he missed one throw, Zach. One easy touchdown throw.
Jared, you look at his stats, you take away the 3
Yeah, you look at his
3 or 4
stats. You look at his
plays,
stats, you're going to see different
other
things.
Than that, he had like 50
Williams
yards. We're not comparing to Caleb
He didn't
Williams.
have 50 yards. No, he didn't.
You take away he had the 2 to Alec Pierce. I think he had one other long one to Ashton Doolin, right?
Yeah.
You take away those 3, he had like 50, 60 yards.
Look, I'm not saying he was solid from 10 yards out. I'm just saying everyone's saying he had a few flashy moments. Let's be honest though. The flashy moment that you're talking about was probably one of the best throws you've ever seen. I'm not trying to glaze my quarterback.
Yeah, it was a great throw, but one throw a game doesn't do it.
There were a lot of good
throws
throws
one
this week.
Yeah. It was number 1 on top 10. I watched Sports Center just because I wanted to see it. But he missed the one to A.D. Mitchell down the right sideline, which would have been a touchdown. I don't know if you watched the game at all or if you're just saying this based on stats.
I saw parts. I'll give my take.
Okay, he missed the one on the left side, down the left sideline, but it was called for illegal contact on the defense, which threw off the timing by a half second. Missed it by an inch, 2 inches. So there's 2 throws. I mean, 1 throw that's actually not interfered with. He did only complete 9 passes. So I get what you're saying there, but like the Colts got the ball once in the third quarter, and they that was the Doolin touchdown. Then they got it in the fourth quarter once. They scored. Then the fourth quarter again, they scored. And that was it. I mean, they didn't get the ball again.
41 plays. They only ran 41 plays.
They didn't play any. They didn't get they got the ball 3 times in the second half. One of them was a deep pass to Doolin.
Plays.
Yeah, and the Doolin pass was like early in the drive, so that was like 2 plays. Then the last drive, Richardson threw it to Pierce for 60 yards, and then he ran in a touchdown. They had like probably I would say like 15 plays in the second half. I would say. Like they didn't get the ball at all. So you're looking at 9 out of 19. Look at his passer rating. It's still over 110 or whatever it is because it was impressive. The interception, the Granson tripped, and if you watch the game, you can see that it wasn't on AR, but
I see his QBR at 101, which
101. Okay, I think I
Or
factored it without
not
the
QBR,
interception
his
in
rating.
it too. But
His QBR 87. His QBR was higher than Stroud's, by the way.
he
But
just played better than Stroud. I'm not just trying to say that Stroud won. I get it, but
24 for
Davis had a big
32,
game.
2
We couldn't stop
touchdowns.
Mixon. He should have had 2 picks. I mean, he did. He did not look solid at all. Like Stroud's game did not look solid. He threw a pick on the sideline that Kenny Moore stepped on the sideline. His foot stepped on the sideline. Or no, Juju Brent stepped on the sideline. And another one, it was Kenny Moore got the pick, but then Dallas Flowers had PI or illegal touching or something on the other side of the field that had no impact on the play.
What I thought was impressive for Richardson was, okay, well, think about how many points, not even just fantasy, think about how many points he put on the team's board for only completing 9 passes and 6 carries. Like that for me was kind of a huge takeaway.
Yeah.
Like the explosiveness is clearly there. That throw to Pierce was amazing. But then again, he still was 9 for 19. I mean, he wasn't.
So it kind of shocked me that he only completed 9 passes. The first drive of the game, he had a really bad throw that he missed his receiver. I think it was Mitchell. A few of his throws were like tight coverage where it was a good throw, but it just, I mean, receiver couldn't come up with it. It wasn't really going to be a completion. So look at the stats all you want. Knowing if you watch the game, you know
He
that
had
Right
some
now,
of the best plays this week.
I mean, he's going to win comeback player of the year if he stays healthy. Joe Burrow did it. I mean, I don't know. If you watched the game, like I said, you would understand why I'm so happy with the way he played. Our defense sucked. Our defense was terrible in the second half, especially. I mean, Zach, you said during the first half, like, oh, defense isn't looking good. And I said 15 points isn't that bad. And then they ended up giving up 15 just in the fourth quarter or something. So our defense was not good. Our secondary is terrible. And now Juju Brents is out for the year. We're cooked on defense. So
Pittman had a beautiful target share. He almost was at 50%. He had 8 targets.
Yeah, well, that's just he forced it to Pittman a few times.
Well, yeah, Pittman didn't have a great game, but point aside is that was close to be. Yeah, Kylan Granson only had 1 target, and it was what Jared said. So that's why I was disappointed. I was hyping him up last week.
Yeah, he tripped. It would have been a touchdown too if he caught it, but he tripped. Also, one of AR's passes, not to keep going on the Colts, one of AR's passes at the goal line was tipped at the line, which would have been another touchdown. So, I mean, we settled for a field goal there. I mean, it's Richardson's, yeah, but you know, I'm just saying it. There's a lot of circumstances that comes to an incomplete pass. I mean, I don't know. You take it how you want.
What did you think, Zach, of Friday Packer game?
It was. I feel like they had a lot of stuff that I chalked up to just being the first game of the season. I feel like obviously the field sucked. I think everyone could see that with how much people are sleeping.
Brutal.
Funny, Zach.
But
you're funny.
What?
Sorry to cut you off, but this is Richardson's 5th ever game and his 11th game since high school. And you're saying first game of the year, give him some excuses. Sorry.
I didn't even know what I was going to say.
No, you're saying that like you chalked all their mistakes. You chalked all their mistakes. You chalked all their mistakes up to the first week of the season, whatever. Richardson has played 11 games since high school. All right, so just maybe cut him some slack a little bit on his missed throws. Okay, continue.
What? One, let me address that. I wasn't saying that it's a big deal. I'm just saying you can't say he played like a phenomenal game when realistically, outside of 3 passes, he didn't do much. Now and going on the Packer game,
his run was insane.
Both teams slipped a lot. I think everyone saw that, right? I mean,
yeah, our field was terrible too with the new turf, but Packer game was worse.
But I think like first half, receivers had some drops. I think Wicks had 2 of them, which.
Geez, Love probably threw bad throws then, huh?
But
probably bad throws.
Second half, yeah, it looked like Love was off a little bit. He missed a few throws they should have had. That the end zone throw to Watson. People say Watson slipped. I didn't see a slip. I thought Love just missed a throw. So there's definitely some stuff they could have improved, but overall I think they played decent outside of also defense. Fourth quarter kind of sucked, but
yeah, the run defense didn't look terrible. Besides, I mean,
in the second half they ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saquon still had a good game, but yeah.
Well, that's what we talked about with Jeff Halfley.
3 drives. The last 3 drives, the defense was Swiss cheese.
I mean, only having really 2 run-stopping linebackers. I mean, just my point with the defense was they ran the ball a lot, and I feel like there's a reason why the Eagles ran the ball a lot. I mean, they ran the ball 35 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was tough to see, but on the offense side, Jaden Reed, very impressed to see that.
Phenomenal.
I said he's getting a rushing touchdown.
Jaden Reed is number 1 in the league for receiving yards, and Pierce is number 3, just so you know. And they're both going to hold up because Pierce is catching eight passes a week. So just you wait. You know, Pierce led the league last year in deep or in go routes, and he just was never targeted because no one had an arm to get it to him. Minshew just couldn't. So don't be surprised if you see more of these lucky throws, as you said, from Richardson to Pierce, because that's just what he does. Are you calling all of Tyreek Hill's deep throws just lucky because you just throw it and he catches it?
I just still directed at Zach.
Rashid Shaheed is
I
a
never
decent
even
receiver
said they were
now.
lucky.
No, you said without those 3 throws, acting like the 3 throws. What if he had 5 deep throws? Without those 5 throws, he only had 4 complete. Like, you can't just keep saying that. It wasn't just 1. It wasn't 2. He had 3 great. I'm not. His last one to Pierce wasn't a great throw, but 2 great throws that went for 60+ yards. What other quarterback had 3 50+ yard throws?
Jared,
in
my
week 1?
point is though, if you're relying on him to throw 3 60-yard
Oh,
touchdowns
I'm not.
every week,
I'm just saying when he did
it's
it, he
not
looked damn good
sustainable.
doing it. So that's all I'm saying.
You know,
Yeah.
look better. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Derek Carr. Who else?
he needs to work on the just sustaining drives that are 10 plays, not
We knew his
3
accuracy
plays.
was a problem. That was like his biggest knock, and he showed that he missed a few throws. But I mean, it was week 1. Every quarterback missed throws. But yeah, if he can put a drive together, and JT barely was used at all either. Like, he only had 40 some yards, and I don't think he caught a pass, which he never really
16
does.
carries for 48 yards.
Yeah, and those were
He's just
mostly in the
extremely
first half.
inefficient.
Yeah, we just didn't get the ball in the second half either. The Texans did a good job of play
That's
calling
crazy.
and keeping the ball. I mean, yeah,
Plus
Couldn't do
30
anything
play
about it.
differential.
Huge game.
yeah.
Also,
Mixon, we
what's wrong
couldn't
with
stop.
the Bengals? How come
I seriously, sorry, Zach, but I'll tell you what's wrong with the Bengals. I seriously think Joe Burrow's wrist, I think there's actually like long-term problems with it. I saw, do you guys see the clips and stuff? I also saw some people on X speculating too with the procedure and stuff, and the ligament he tore, and supposedly like it's hard to actually like have that come back to full strength. So like I don't know. I personally feel like I think there's something wrong with Burrow, but at the same time, the team itself did not look great nonetheless.
nobody looked good? Like,
Was Jamar on a
that-
snap count?
Well, yeah, he was because
Yeah.
again, I don't know.
Yeah.
What did I say? What did I say?
I mean, it's
I mean, he
week-
was 6 for
you-
62, so
Yeah, he still had like a.
it was. I was obviously exaggerating, kind of like how good Anthony Richardson played with Jared exaggerating, but it was tough to see for Burrow. I mean, it was okay, 21 to 29 for 164. It was a whole lot. It really was like a whole lot of nothing with it.
So would you rather have that or Richardson stacking?
No, Jared Richardson.
Yeah,
Richardson.
that's what I
I
thought.
don't think anybody's arguing that, but
Yeah.
But he just, I don't know. He looked off. I think it starts with the quarterback. Quarterback looked off,
Well, I
and
mean,
that's kind of why I bring that
it's
up right
not
away.
just this year though. Like, I don't think you can just chalk it up to it's just Joe Burrow's wrist. You look at the last 2-3 years, they've always looked awful the first few weeks. Does it go back to the not playing in the preseason? Because if that's the case, Zach Taylor needs to figure it out, and they better be playing next year. Like, he's one of the coaches that has really stuck by the starters not playing in the preseason, and they've come out flat every single year. So
He
same
got
thing
shot in
happened
the
with
first half. They were
Packers
flat.
too. When Rodgers
Yeah,
never
like-
played, they always came out flat week 1.
New England was not a good team. I mean, you look at the Jets, I don't think they came out firing on all cylinders,
No?
right?
Reese
They
looked-
looked rough too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know,
Okay, you're making me feel better about that.
You
'Cause
lose
I have a
to
lot of Burrow.
team with Jacoby Brissett starting. That should never happen.
Well, he
Yeah,
did.
I mean,
well, they should not have lost to the Patriots.
well, no, they're projected to
I
win
had
3-4 games this year.
I took the Bengals in one of my survivor pools week 1.
Yeah, so did I.
Oh,
That's the only
okay.
one I took
But-
actually.
But I have another entry, and I used the Bills. So I actually almost lost them both, but fortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Bengals game was.
The Bills started out really bad, and then I think after
Say
like
that.
from the
Started
middle of the
terrible.
second quarter on, they look like the Bills. Like they,
Oh yeah.
I think it was 17-3, and they ended up winning like 31-24 or something like that. So
Yeah,
I mean,
think that's what it was.
yeah, it was the last drive in the second quarter until like the middle of the third quarter. They scored 3 touchdowns within like, I think it was like 12 minutes of game time or something like that, 15 minutes maybe. But
You know, I'm not gonna like having Kincaid on my team if Josh Allen's gonna run in every single goal line like play. It's annoying.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Him and Chris Olave are like two guys who really struggled week 1. Who I think
about
when I say
Andrews?
struggled, didn't get the ball.
I don't know about
They'll be fine.
Olave.
I said Olave.
Andrews.
I think
A lot. I mean, I've never been a fan of Olave just because that offense. Like with Carr, you look at his stats last year. The amount of games he had at like 10 points. It was like, yeah, he had a few that is mid-20s or whatever, but he's just his upside is capped at like 25 points a week.
Okay, well,
and for a receiver, like that's solid, but I don't know.
I'm just saying
the Saints or the Saints get a good quarterback, I don't think Olave will be top like 15.
I'm just saying Rashid Shaheed's not going to lead this team in yards. Foster Moreau is not going to be the top goal line receiver, and we're not going to see who else do I even throw in? Who played there?
Taysom Hill
Johnson?
getting 10 carries or whatever it was, or
Taysom
5
Hill's get the ball.
Yeah,
he got the ball
more
than I thought though.
Jamal Williams got 11 carries. That surprised me.
Yeah.
My point is, I think there's a lot more room for Olave in this offense. I'm not saying he's a top 12 guy, but I'm saying I think that he's going to be a wide receiver too. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I don't. Drew, you mentioned Mark Andrews. I got him in one dynasty that was started this year. Worried a little bit, but also he's going to get more involved. I think going against the Chiefs, defensive front did not help his game at all because they needed him to pass. Or
they doubled him a lot too.
I wanted to say that Andrews was kind of like a decoy and likely was like their weapon, like secret weapon. But then I saw Andrews catch a few passes. Like, what is he doing?
That one, I don't know.
He like slipped or something.
He
slipped.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what's going on there, but
I don't know.
I mean, also, if you're the Chiefs, you go into the game, you're going to game plan for someone who's it going to be. Mark Andrews, right?
Oh, I'm starting live. Oh, I'm starting likely this week. I mean, I kind of have to. He's projected way more than. No, I'm starting him over Bowers.
Oh,
I think I view. Close. I'm starting to view likely more likely. I'm viewing. No, I'm not saying like likely. I view him likely as. What I'm saying is I view likely and Andrews both as like two receivers on this team. Really, I think that's the way to look at it, rather than like Bateman and Flowers. I think these two guys are gonna lead the charge. I think Flowers too. I think it's gonna be an offense supporting 3 receivers. I think 2 of the 3 receivers are gonna be tight ends in this offense.
Yeah. I mean, you look at they showed they're gonna run 12 personnel, so it wasn't like they only had one tight end on the field at a time. Like they had them both on the field. It was just
helps with Henry too. Getting him the ball too. But
there's a lot of disappointments in week 1 though. So I don't know. I think like this season more than anything, we got to wait a few weeks before
this season.
Too concerned because
I don't.
It's like,
I
are
want
you
to
going
know
to be concerned about Amon-Ra? Jameson Williams breakout. Well, you're still not going to be concerned about Amon-Ra, right?
Jameson Williams had the best game of his career. Like that's
amazing. I was happy. I really enjoyed that Sunday night game. That was probably one of my favorite games week 1.
Also, I want to see how good Joe Mixon actually is. If he's actually going to be because he was getting old, and I thought when he went to the Texans, he was going to be like a kind of a decent running back. I don't know if our run defense is really bad because we have good names on our run defense, and they played decent, but we just couldn't stop Mixon.
30 for 159. That was I would not have expected 30 carries, let alone for 159 yards. I'm hoping the Packers can exploit that week 2 here. Hopefully,
Grover Stewart, DeForest Buckner, like we have names. It's just our secondary, and when we blitz, Gus Bradley is. I've never been a fan of him. He plays his own defense, and he doesn't know how to stop. If Grover Stewart and Buckner don't stop the run at the line, it's going for at least 8 yards a carry. It's It's annoying.
Do you think also with Stroud and the deep threats, right? Nico had a big play. Do you think also the defense had to? I think with Stroud
Yeah.
too. I think that also helps open up the run. I think that's
They
my
have
point.
so
My
many
point is
names. That's
with
yeah.
Malik Willis, they are going to be able to stack the box like crazy. I mean, that's where I'm worried about.
Well, see, we would, but like we don't have a secondary. We can't just sell out on Jacobs and hope that Willis doesn't find receivers down the field.
Did you see Malik Willis? He played 2 plays.
I know.
Got sacked on a Hail Mary and bulleted out of bounds. Like completely.
I know he's not a solid quarterback, but like
You can stack the box, Jared.
Yeah, you can
you'll
put
see.
10 in the
No.
box and
I will
still
guarantee
probably lose.
we will stack the box, but I'll guarantee that there will be like a 60-yard touchdown because we're gonna blitz the cornerback and it's gonna be wide open because we have no safety to take him. Like you'll see a 50, 60-yard touchdown this week.
Well, it's Colts minus 3.5. Pretty sure. I think it was Packers. The Packers were 3.5 point favorites actually before, so it actually just full on flip. So a full 7-point swing.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't think you're hopeful going into the week, but I don't think anyone you would play unless you playing like the Patriots or a terrible team, Panthers. I don't think you'd feel confident in winning this week if you were a Packer fan, right?
No, but it's a long season, and you saw what they did last year, so you're confident in the season.
The Packers to be like 0-3 when Love comes back.
Like, just remember, like Malik Willis, they held on to for a year or two in Tennessee. He finally got his chance, and he wasn't better than Tannehill. Like, he was terrible. So, I don't know.
I don't know what the Packers saw in him to make that trade. Obviously, they think he was better than Clifford.
Well, I guess I didn't watch preseason, but what's the other guy? Pratt?
Michael Pratt.
Yeah.
Apparently they were terrible. Both were awful, apparently. So
we need Alex Magoo.
We'll give you Jason Bean for a first-round pick.
My Dynasty League deal.
Nah, Jason Bean is a potential starter in this league. Just know the name.
He's gonna take over for Richardson.
If Richardson gets hurt, he's like a fourth string.
Did anyone see Daniel Jones and the Giants week 1? Did you see that pick 6?
I saw him get booed when he walked off the field.
It's a pick 6. It was like on a screen pass. He just threw it to Van Ginkel right in front of him.
I think Will Levis had the worst pick 6 of the week by far.
Yeah,
like
what was he
doing
tried
there? He tried flipping the ball like out, like just down and right to the defender.
I don't know.
Ugh.
Those were
I had
ugly.
that guy's touchdown passes this year.
That Bears Titans game was so ugly. I got that game on cable. That was one of the wonderful games we got.
We were watching. Me and my roommate were watching. It was the Bears Titans game and then the Bengals Patriots game.
Those are
that was the other game we got too.
Wow. Yeah.
That was but
not exciting.
I started following a little bit that Chargers-Raiders game. That was actually kind of enjoyable with like Dobbins having a big game back. Obviously not much for the Raiders.
He ended with like 130 yards, but he had like 2 60-yard runs, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 10 carries only. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Is Dobbins gonna be like a James Robinson? Remember Robinson after he tore his Achilles came back, had like 2 big games and then just fell off.
I don't think so. Fan. I don't know.
Because if you watch those big runs, he should have had at least one more touchdown. Like he did not have the speed or the explosion or anything. Like he was getting ran down by like 3 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, he's better than Gus Edwards, is what I'll say. But I think in this running back room, I think for this season, I think he's safe to have some level of production if healthy. Like I don't think it's probably more of like an RB3 flex type production, but like
off topic, Zach, I have a question. What are your thoughts on Herbert? Where does he rank? And how much worse has he gotten
in fantasy?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game. Did he look bad?
I mean,
stats were fine.
He only put up like 8 fantasy points for me this week or something like that.
Yeah, he didn't have a touchdown.
Yeah.
I'd say he looked like he played for a head coach who likes to run the ball.
Yeah, like that's why I trade him in fantasy because it's like I'm expecting him to have like 20 touchdowns this season. One, because the offense is just going to suck because they don't have any playmakers whatsoever, and then 2 because they're going to be running the ball a lot. Like I think even if their running game sucks, like they don't have a good running back, I still think they're going to run the ball. So,
Yeah.
and you look at their passing game, who's their wide receiver too is what, Quentin Johnson?
Yeah.
You know, Quentin Johnson,
When
Josh Palmer.
When I made that trade with you, it was more like I wanted the picks. I knew Mahomes was still going to be great, and I knew Herbert wasn't a great fantasy quarterback, but I just wanted the picks.
Yeah, well,
And
like I had
maybe
to
I
come
would-
around
maybe I
to
should have
it.
gotten more.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
who said that?
Assuming
said
the
that?
Chargers get a top, like 5-10 pick this year in the draft, they could definitely get one of those top 3 receivers. You got Burden, you got Tet and
Yeah,
Buka.
I haven't even
there's
looked into
receivers this year.
receivers.
There's quite a few top receivers that they could get, and then that'll help them a lot. You get Lad McConkey if he ends up turning out, which he looks solid in week 1. You get another top receiver. He could be solid next year, but like when I made that trade, I'm trying to win now, and I don't want to have a quarterback that's
Hey,
gonna have multiple.
it looks like I'm ready to win now. I don't know.
Jared, you're always ready to win now.
I don't understand how I won. Who do I even have? I think I benched Pierce too because I
Don't you have
started.
Cobb?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Who did you started Van Jefferson, almost beat me in my league.
Yeah.
that was something.
Yeah. Kenneth
If you
Walker,
would've
Jacobs,
started, I saw
Kupp,
that. If you would
Godwin.
have started, I think Pierce and Mayfield, he would have.
I don't even
Oh
think
yeah.
I needed Mayfield. I think I just could have started Pierce.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And do I have Likely on my bench too or no?
I don't know about
No,
that one.
I don't
but
think I have him. I have him in a different league.
I think you, Jared, for messing that up. Oh, CMC. I want to rant about CMC quickly. The whole thing about how that went down last Monday night.
How many leagues do you have CMC in?
So I've CMC in 2 leagues now, 0-2, maybe 3. No, 3 leagues. I think 0-3. I got the number 1 overall pick in 3 leagues, of course, just random luck. So I have him. I'm 0-3 in those 3 leagues. I'm whatever record wise. I'm great in other leagues. In these leagues, I had Jordan Mason in 2, so I was okay. I was able to swap out whatever. In this one, though, it was on ESPN. Since all players played, you couldn't make any moves. And he was the only last player. CMC was the only last player on my roster. And it will only put him on my IR spot. Because, right, he's not on the IR. So it was either drop CMC and add Jordan Mason or just hold. So I had to just hold.
And if you would have started Mason, if you could have picked him up, you probably would have won, right?
I would have won. Yep, I did the math.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
the joy of fantasy.
If only you had like one more player on your bench that didn't play yet. Like,
Yeah, if I had like Mike Williams, come
Yeah.
on, that would have been.
that's just unfortunate. I don't know.
Yeah, that was.
What can you do to prevent that though? Like, there's not much you can, because otherwise people are gonna
No.
they'll have someone on their bench that does terrible. They can pick up. I mean, not that it's gonna come down to bench points and ties and stuff like that, but they could pick up someone else and put them on their bench. And
Well, how
you
many
could put
Monday
up
night guys get ruled out
20
last minute? I mean,
yeah,
this was something we haven't seen in a while.
Mhm.
It reminded me a little bit. I was the Alvin Kamara guy as well. A couple of years, 2 years ago. Was that?
yeah. I just want to say I put up 170 points in this league this week.
Is it the 8-team one or the 10
No,
team?
it's 10 team dynasty. Yeah,
The good team. Yeah, that good team.
amazing team. Yeah, I mean,
Is that Cup?
and no, that's Puka too. Puka
Oh.
was out, and Tank Dell had a bad game, and Bowers had a bad game. I mean, Tua, Chris Godwin, Pickens, Tyreek Hill, Pacheco, Bijan, Richardson. Tank Dell. And now instead of Puka, I'm gonna have to start probably Isaiah Likely or T Higgins, but I think T Higgins is out again.
He's gonna be out again.
I think they said let me look. What is he listed as?
He hasn't practiced yet this week.
Yeah, he's
Oh
questionable.
yeah.
If
It's
not T
Wednesday.
Higgins, I start Najee or I start Tajay Spears, but I don't think Spears is getting much production at all.
It was that backfield was more Pollard.
Yeah.
So guys, how team and player picks last week went? Team picks. Out of all people, I go
got
5-0.
about one team.
Wow.
I got to rant about one thing. So
What?
I go into the season starting wide receivers: Lamb, Amon Ra, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison, and Abdul Kincaid. Feeling good. Then they put up a combined 25 points.
I wouldn't even give him that.
I think I lost by 10.
Yeah.
Like
Kincaid Harrison
how-
combined
You had
with
a bad
like
week.
3.
yeah, let's Where am I scoring in that league?
I know Garrett Wilson had like 7 or 8, and
So I'm
You
number
know
6
you'll be
out of
fine.
12 for scoring, and or
I'm
number
I'm
7.
1. I'm in first
So,
in
like,
like
right in
3
the
of my
middle,
leagues
but-
for scoring.
Yeah, it is.
That's
I
unfortunate.
was
That's a good
very
team though. I mean, it's week
frustrated.
1. It'll
Yeah,
be
you'll
fine.
be.
Yeah, like the team will
It'll
be
even
fine, but
out.
It's very
You'll be
frustrating
fine.
to watch.
We lost. Bernie and I lost our Vampire League week 1 because Ernest Jones got traded from the Rams to the Titans, and he had limited snaps. Week 1,
Hold on,
he's
hold
getting
on.
less tackles.
You didn't.
Don't you throw it somewhere
Oh,
else.
okay.
It's
Okay.
best ball.
Okay.
Wow.
It's best ball Vampire. So we had Ernest Jones was number 4 last year or something, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
for out of all linebackers. So of course we did the draft before he got traded, and then he puts up only instead of the 55 points he was averaging, he only put up 14. So we lost by 20.
How do you grade
Dude.
defense? Like a tackle is a point, or what is it?
Yeah. Tackles and assisted tackles are like a point plus.
Is a sack
So-
like 5 points or something? Does it make a
Yeah.
difference to draft like an edge over a linebacker, or the linebacker score the most?
No, tackles are worth the most. So you want
Tackles
counting
Well,
stats.
I mean, it kind of depends on.
It depends on the
what's-
scoring.
How
In this
many
one, it's
defensive people do you have to start? Because I've
You-
seen leagues
you-
where it's like just 2, like
4
any
spots.
position, but I've seen other ones where it's like you have to start 1 D lineman, 1 linebacker, 1.
So it's
defensive
best ball,
back.
mind you. So only 4 guys
Yeah.
accrue points. But the other thing is, with it being that the linebackers are heavily weighted in the scoring, just with how the commissioner set it up. So it's very friendly to tackles, assisted tackles, and things of that nature. Like interceptions are like 8 points, maybe. Sacks are like 8 points. But a guy getting 8 to 10 tackles is worth a lot more. It's
Let me ask you, I'm guessing like Aluakan and Zaire went like top 10, I would guess, because they just
or
get tackles.
not overall, but like top 10 out of all defensive players. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I know that my brother's roommate is in a defense league as well, and he said Zaire went like 4th, and Aluakan went, I think, 1st. He said
we tried to
first
get
overall.
Zaire.
Aluakan's been like top 2 tackles for like
Yeah.
4
He
straight
beat
years or
Zaire
something
last
like
year
that.
because Zaire missed like 2 games, but Aluakan's I think he's been top 2 the last 3 years. I think it is.
Yeah.
And I thought Ernest Jones was going to have a big year because the defense had all these question marks. Donald's out. I was like,
They look good
so-
though. That defense looked good.
Oh, it did. It did. That was my other point was I guess I see why they traded Ernest Jones. They felt they could move a guy who has some perceived value, and at linebacker, if you can get any sort of value, that's something.
Or something for him.
Yeah, which for a linebacker you'll take.
Mhm.
No, but for team picks, so Jared unfortunately had the Bengals and the Colts. So he had the Seahawks, 49ers, and Steelers though. So there you go. 3
And I
2.
think I should get an extra point because I had the upset pick, right? I think we should all get an extra point if you get it right. But
Then Bills, Bears, Bucks, Falcons, Giants for Zach. A tough pick there for the last 2. He goes 3 and 2.
this guy's gonna
I
boost
picked
his
the
ego
Giants over the
so
Vikings.
much.
I know I'm not. I'm just gonna read my teams that I picked. I picked Minnesota, Detroit, Dallas, Texans, and Saints. 5 and 0.
Lucky on the
Nice,
Texans,
nice
but
start.
good picks.
I
guess.
got a little helpful with Detroit too.
You see that catch by Nico on the sidelines? That just jeez.
My upset pick Dallas. Keep in mind Dallas. They were underdogs. Were Minnesota or were they underdogs on the road? I mean, they weren't.
I don't
It-
think
There's
so.
no
Well,
chance.
I'm just saying, Zach. Dallas was underdogs. They were 2.5 point underdogs. They dominated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cleveland looked awful. They looked
Really.
I mean,
Their
Watson
offensive
was
line.
terrible.
He had that throw to Cooper at the end that was really impressive. But
Watson didn't play good, but he was not helped out by anybody else on the team.
yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
People are already saying it's the worst contract of all time. So. I don't know.
Player picks.
Wow.
Jared had
That
Richardson
was
and
true 2 years
Saquon.
ago already.
Yeah.
So Jared basically beat me with Richardson and Saquon as I had Burrow, I had Andrews, I had Olave. I'll just read. I had Jacobs. He did well. I had Collins, had that big play. And then I had Stafford. Fine. Zach had Love, Brown, Kelsey, Hill, Kyron, and Kyler. I don't know the final tallies here, but I'm pretty sure Jared won. Zach does final tallies.
I mean, Tyler was okay. Kelsey was not much, like 3 catches.
Brown had a nice game. Hill had a nice game. Kyron had a couple touchdown. Yeah, we're giving it to Jared.
Cool.
Do I start Brian Thomas over Jane Reed this week?
No.
No.
I mean,
No. Reed's gonna get some plays near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but he can have 6 touches for.
my mic is bad right now. Hold on.
You go that, Zach. That's my opinion. I'm gonna read one now. I got Baker or Tua. Tua tomorrow night against Buffalo. Baker, come on, Baker just looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was amazing. He had a great week. The Bucks, in case you're wondering, they play the Lions at Detroit. So in a dome, Baker,
Did Tua only have that one touchdown pass?
Yeah.
You take who, Zach?
He had 300 yards.
I do Tua.
Tua with the okay.
Drew, he's leading the league in passing yards. You have to.
Like Detroit's defense looked solid. Like they look pretty good. So.
Well, I think the Rams' offensive line looked bad.
Well, that too, but like their secondary was making plays as well.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Cup. I looked at again. That was Stafford and Cup. I guess maybe I'm.
Even then, like outside of that one really long pass on the sidelines that Cup caught, everything.
They had no big plays.
Short. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
The one big Cup catch and then the Tyler Johnson 60-yarder.
This guy likes just negating all deep plays and big plays. He just, without the 80-yard game-winning touchdown in overtime, Richardson played terrible.
Jared's still bitter. So salty. Yeah, actually, I'm looking at more too. The game's in Miami tomorrow night. Good weather. Oh yeah, I'll lean that. I'll make that start.
8 points now.
Yeah, because it usually, historically, when I ask for advice on this, it usually backfires, but it's not a critic of you.
Tua is though. It's going to be a 400-yard. He's questionable, I think. Right?
Who? Waddle?
I think no.
Achane.
Oh, Achane's questionable. Mostert's out. Waddle's questionable.
Pick up Jalen Wright. He's going to do good this week. I think that's their third string.
He's not going to play much if
Achane's out, yeah. No, Tua's either going to put up 400 yards and 5 touchdowns or 100 yards, no touchdowns, 4 picks. Not really.
Well, Waddle's questionable, but he came back in last week, so I'm assuming he's playing this week.
I hope so. I got Waddle in a lot of leagues. I was hoping for big year.
Waddle fell so far in our redraft league. He fell to
he fell in all the leagues. I don't know.
Round,
I think he had a questionable take. That's why I think.
Yeah.
His year last year was not great either. He was banged up for.
Wasn't he over 1,000 yards still though?
Barely, I think.
All right, shall we do some team picks?
Sure. I gotta look at the schedule.
Can you see it?
Yeah, he had 1,014 yards last year with 4 touchdowns. So yeah, not the best.
All right, I went 5-0. I get to start. Did you like that?
You're cool. You got to say it again. One more time.
5-0. He's taking the Ravens.
I was making fun of your picks last week too.
The bounce back week. Who are you taking?
Is it
Do
me?
I get to go?
Yeah, who goes? We tied.
Zach, Jared goes. He won. He won player picks.
No, 2 in a row.
Wasn't it supposed to go whoever did the best goes last?
Nope, I changed it. I'm kidding. No, I always go last, no matter what. Usually, I'm going.
Fine. Do you want to go or should I go?
You can go.
Ooh. Prolong this like Zach always does.
There's a lot of games this week where the spreads are pretty big.
I don't know why they're so big on some of these though. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. Yes.
Yeah, Cowboys have the Saints. Cowboys are at home.
I give you Washington and the Chargers.
Just pick against really bad teams. I get it.
I mean, both teams look awful.
Yeah. Well, then how about you give me the Seahawks? Because there's no way in hell the Patriots go 2-0.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett might be.
I don't care what you
might
mean.
be the guy.
I am scared. I bet this game could come back and haunt me. Okay, Detroit is somehow 7.5-point favorites against Tampa. Like, that's crazy to me.
Close game lines win.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's me just looking into it too much. Okay. I'm debating a couple of them. I'm gonna go with Houston over the Bears.
I hope you're wrong, honestly.
Really, that's a surprise.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm not a big Texans fan. I don't know if you knew that about me.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you taking Colts here?
No, I'm not. I'll take the. What's I gonna take? Damn. I'll take the Niners, I guess.
I'll take Colts and Steelers.
I don't think the Bengals go 2-0, but I'll take the Chiefs or 0-2. That might not be a good pick.
All right, I guess somehow
Did
come
you
up with
just
2
take
picks now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were taking the Bengals over the Chiefs for a second.
No.
I think I'm gonna. I am stuck here. I think I'm going to take. I don't want to pick it tomorrow night. I'm afraid of that Thursday night game. Nothing. Oh, I'm going to take the. Nobody took the Eagles yet. I'll take Eagles over Falcons.
Now we gotta pick up
Monday night.
I just
then
Falcons would go 1-2, but
I do have an upset pick though for you. I got one. Don't worry. I got the Browns over Jacksonville. I know.
Jacksonville's favored.
Yeah, they're -3. They're at home.
you know what? This might be the pick that like proves everything I said today wrong, but I'm gonna take the Bears.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Who's
That's
favored
weird.
tomorrow night? Bills or Dolphins?
We got Dolphins -2.5. They're at home.
I'll take Bills.
Okay. There are your team picks. Very nice. Back to player picks. How are we doing this now, guys, with rankings? Who can we take? Who
Top
can't we
5.
take? Okay. I don't know.
Top 5. Why can't we
Top
just
5
take
in respects to
anyone?
rankings, that's kind of dumb.
What just anyone? Just take anyone you want. No. Top
No.
5 in,
We've
in
always
week
done
1?
top 5.
Like that's so weird that it's okay.
Top 5 in week 1. I'm with Jared.
All right. So you can't take, for example, you can't take Saquon, Mixon, H.N. Dobbins, or Jordan Mason. Don't take Jordan Mason, guys.
He's not. Wait.
Make sure you don't take Alan Lazard, in case anyone was really tempted to.
Okay, who wants to start us here?
I can go
I don't
first.
care. Who's going first?
Zach?
I can. I'll go. Actually, I don't want to go first.
What do you mean you don't want to go first?
I'll take Anthony Richardson.
Is he not top 5? He's 4.
Oh. Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
Shoot.
Oh, we're going to make things up now.
Oh. I had a filter on. He was number 6 when I was looking at it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You can take Derek Carr, though. He's number 6. Geno Smith, number 7.
Who do the Jets play?
The Jets play the Titans.
I'll take
Right?
Brees Hall.
Yeah. Hey. You going second, Jared?
Yeah, I mean, I can. So how do we do this? So if I take CMC and he doesn't play, then what?
Then tough luck.
Okay. I know he's like doubtful or something, but
So take Jordan Mason.
no, he's number 5. You can't.
See, I caught.
I'll take Jefferson. He's like number 17. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna take Derrick Henry, and then I will go with. Is it gonna be? I think I'm gonna take Marvin Harrison. He gets his full name spelled out. Should I say Junior? Or am I? We got Colts hat. That's fine.
Okay. My turn, or is it?
Yeah.
Is that how that works? I'll take CD as the flex.
I forgot that he was a player.
Yeah, he's on the Cowboys actually. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I'll take Amon-Ra. And I guess we'll go
Who?
wait, who the Texans play again?
Texans.
Jets. No, Texans play Bears.
I'll go Mahomes.
Okay, Jared.
I'll take Bijan.
Okay, I am gonna take Jamar Chase, and then I'm gonna get a quarterback off the board. I was debating who. I think.
Daniel Jones, maybe.
No, I was thinking Stroud.
Oh, okay.
I'm just in spite of Jared.
Then I'll take Lamar, I guess. He's 6. It says Love's doubtful.
Yeah, because he's not playing.
I would agree
I
with
feel
that.
like if he wasn't playing, why wouldn't LaFleur just say, yeah, he's out for like game planning reasons? Maybe
Suspense for them. Yeah,
he's getting us good. Oh,
he got you.
I'll go Rashee Rice.
Rashid Shaheed, you say?
Yeah, I think so.
And Jalen Hurts.
I don't think I'm ever gonna take Rashid Rice because it
Same.
could come out a few days before that he's not playing.
Oh no, that's not why. I just not gonna take Rice.
Well, that too, but you guys have a tight end yet? No, perfect, cool.
Is it Granson week?
No, it's gonna be Kelsey. From top to bottom right now, my team is just stacked. I'm just gonna let you know.
I agree. I agree. But as Zach highlighted, that does not mean you win.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I gotta finish mine out. I think I'm gonna take Goff, and then I'm gonna go Kincaid bounce back week. Jared.
Oh, you took Hurts already. Damn. I'll take Tua tomorrow.
Take McBride.
Some good teams. Some good teams. There they are. Overall, I'm looking forward to week 2. Hopefully, we get some better fantasy performances. Tight end was just terrible this week. I mean, like this was one of the worst tight end weeks I remember.
Yeah. You know what's not to go back to the Colts, but I'm going to with no apologies at all.
Oh my god.
The Colts were hurt without Josh Downs, right? They haven't won a week 1 game since 2013, just so you know. And we lost to the Texans by 2. Yet we fell 4 spots in the power rankings, and the Texans moved up like 4 spots. Am I missing something? Why are we 23rd? Like, what am I missing?
Because the Texans dominated the Colts outside of 3 plays.
I think it's
What
because
do you
there's
mean?
22 teams better.
We blocked a punt, so we got a takeaway there.
All right.
We scored off of that. It was just our run defense. It was our defense. That's all it was. Our offense was great.
Well, Jared, I don't know if you know this about football, but defense has to be on the field for about half of every game.
Yeah, well, Zach, I
So
want
if
you
your
to.
defense sucks.
Never mind. You're not gonna go watch highlights because I know you don't. But I mean, you should.
Okay.
You should You should really watch the
I'll
highlights
see they
of
play this
that
weekend.
game.
If they
No,
I
lose,
mean-
they're gonna be ranked like 30th.
If we would have won that game, we'd be ranked like what? Top
Probably-
15?
I was gonna say 14.
Yeah. But
So,
now we dropped
15?
4 spots for barely losing to a Texans team when we don't even have our second best receiver. Like,
I think
what
the
is
Colts
this?
should
I
be. I
don't-
think I would have put them in like at like 19 was 19 or 20. Sorry, Jared, but that's not that much better.
I don't get it. Who? I don't know. Never mind.
Okay,
Whatever.
that'll wrap it for Zack Rausch, Jared Valleskey, myself, Drew Skyberg. Hoping for another good week of football. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew Sports Crew, the Journey to Million, the perfect podcast for you.